Welcome back to Snackcast.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Settle down, Robin Williams. So it's funny you thought of that because I think it's
Weird.
like playing on direct stream.
Kind of weird, right?
So we're continuing on epigenetics, mind over medicine, Alyssa Rankin, and today we're going to talk about optimism versus pessimism.
Which one are you?
Dude, I think I have to be in the optimist category because, frankly, I just don't give a most of the time. you know, and I think to even do kind of what we've done in building a unique company, you have to be optimistic.
I think you do. I think if you look at most entrepreneurs that are out there, they've got to be, optimistic about life.
So tell me the difference: optimism, pessimism.
Well, optimists, they believe that, the difference isn't in good times. The difference is in bad times, as I like to call it. An optimist in bad times will look at that and go, yeah, this stinks, but this too will pass. The pessimist, when a storm hits, thinks this storm's going to go
just
on.
going to get worse.
It's going to get worse, or it's going to go on forever. I'm here. It's bad. Why doesn't anybody talk to me?
So we've talked about it before, right? Is tomorrow going to be better than
I just
today?
keep getting bad hands dealt after today, tomorrow.
When's it going to stop?
When's it going to stop?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So in the book, Lisa Rankin. Lisa talks about how stress responses result in a lot of cortisol. And cortisol has been linked to a lot of illness. Right. In fact, it's the leading cause of depression that results in disability from ages of 18 to 44 years of age.
All right, let's say that sentence again. People that are 18 to 44.
People that are disabled between 18 and 44. Thank you for.
Okay. So say it again.
People that are disabled from 18 to 44, depression is the leading cause of that disability.
Wow, that's heavy.
It is, and you wouldn't expect that at that age, right? 18 to 44 disability. All right, so I can't work, I can't function, I can't do things.
Oh, dude, and in this society today, that's another podcast. But we've come out of a very dark period.
Yeah. Well, I think we can wrap that up in a little bit. But so I talked about the grant study that came out of Harvard with the sophomore students in the last episode. And what Lisa digs into was out of that grant study came another study that I believe it was Seligman went in there and she looked at all of the people that were in the study. And when looking through all the interviews, those that deemed themselves optimists in life, tomorrow will be better. They lived 44% longer than people that viewed themselves as a pessimist. So again, another very statistically significant study that talks about, what the brain is looking at. Is this true? And I guess getting back to the very beginning of the epigenetics, is what I am facing true? And is it a real threat? Because the body doesn't know the difference. So, pessimists are doomed,
not to be a pessimist.
Not to be a pessimist, but if you are a pessimist, you're doomed in probably every aspect of your life.
Right.
They perform worse at work. They perform worse in their health, in all kinds of other areas.
The relationships, I imagine, are affected. Yeah. It's when you dread tomorrow, I can't imagine that.
Yeah,
and I guess that's the root of pessimism, right? It is to your point, the clouds are only going to get darker, the storm's only going to get stronger or prolonged.
And we're not sugarcoating this. I'm not saying that it's like, hey, that's easy for you to say, Kevin. Just be an optimist. That's. I know there's some people out there that don't want to open their eyes in the morning, right? And really, if going back to the grant study, that's how they asked them, how do you feel about waking up? How do you feel about facing the day? And, if they were deemed a pessimist.
Well, and
That was because
again,
they didn't want to.
I think the point we're doing here is kind of diving into the book and hopefully making people aware. And if you become aware that, oh my gosh, I am a pessimist, I am battling certain amounts of depression, I think we would both recommend, to seek professional help. We don't mean to make light of it, to Kevin's point, at all. But, our job here is, again, we said it, the very first podcast we did was just to pull the curtain back and let people, maybe understand things they haven't paid attention to or never read up on their own,
And that there's a direct link, right? It's not just what's in my head. There's a direct link between what's in your head and what's in the rest of your body.
Yeah.
So on that note, I think we could end this Snackcast on time today.
All right. What? All right. Questions, comments, concerns, hit us at snackcast@yes.fit.
Stay moving.
See ya.